Good morning, Infinity Fellowship. Good morning, everybody at home, wherever you are in the globe. This is Rev Jeff, and it's time to gather. It's time to start. We're gathering in the space here at Infinity Center. And for those of you who are on the way, we'll see you in a minute. For those of you who are at home, this is the time to gather your family together, gather your friends together, text everybody, tell them it's time for the Faces of Infinity. We got a great Sunday service today. It is so awesome. This is a fifth Sunday. It's a rare Sunday. And now that we are in the live and the virtual space, we get to enjoy the many faces of Infinity. So we've got people coming in on the stream today and in the space from all over the country to share their perspectives on Infinity, to share the spirituality that has kept them centered, and hopefully will continue to feed into you. So get yourself ready. We'll see you in a minute for Infinity Fellowship.
All right, good morning, Infinity. All right, how's everybody doing? All right. Brother Jeff wanted me to do a little piece about the importance of spirituality in our community. So I decided to write a little piece about that. And I'm going to try and go as slowly as I can. This is definitely completely raw and uncut, so I'm just going to go with it. And so without further ado, here we go. We're all different backgrounds, separate journeys. In this book of life, the page keeps on turning. And as I enter chapter 37, this verse to infinity on the importance of spirituality in our community. Now, if you're religious, this might roll over your head to create heaven on earth or after you end up dead. But no matter if your pie is in the sky or in a peace within, I wish you no regrets, like if I could just do this all over again. But I digress. The question is, what do you believe? My only hope is we can all agree, even if we disagree. Either it be God, Muhammad, the universe, Buddha, Hindu, or another multiverse, or it's all just one big bang, and this is all just a waste of breath. Heck, you might believe on that, but why don't just believe in yourself? You can believe all this till practice makes perfect, seeking validation, who believe that you're all worth it. They may not believe like atheist and agnostic, but I still scream peace, God, and follow your own prophet. See, we all pray for change, but first you gotta let go. Are you speaking for yourself or just another echo? And I learned to be the example against all odds. From the Bible to Kanye, just remember that ye are the gods. See, you create the reality, like the birds and the bees. Some call it yin yang. We're all still living breeds. We're all still living breeds, dying inside from the sands of the hourglass. But life goes in a blink, then it's just an eternal power nap. But this is the wake-up call to all pronouns from A to Z. So I scream peace and love as this goes to the next century. So let's put our differences to the side and have a simple discussion, because if we don't address it now, there'll just be more repercussions. Even as I tell this all to you, I'm really saying this to me, still trying to hold myself accountable on who's gonna lead. And I learned that from Kevin Samuels. When asked, what's your worth? Don't survive, but thrive, adding 60 hours plus of work. And to all fellas, work hard on yourself than you do your own job, because COVID taught us one thing, that your position can be robbed. And ladies, I'm pro-choice, and I'm still your body, your choice, because you deserve your rights. We want to hear from your voice. And I hear them say, we're all the good men. Guys need to step up. But I say, look at their character, not just how they dress up. Sometimes being high profile means living low key, because ladies, we want to protect you, but submit to our security. This ain't Mars versus Venus, because we all share the same space. And we're all endangered species, because not one of y'all's soul can be replaced. Sometimes spirituality means living your home church, following your truth, godless or God first. So question your morals, values, codes of conduct, study the laws of nature on why the grass grows up. But whatever your rites of passage, find your purpose. So be clear in your vision while you're on this surface. If it's changing your gender or turning your life around, the earth should shake as your body goes underground. But that starts with spirit, and it all starts from home. And add the community to that, because we can't do this all alone. And even I'm guilty believing I could do all this on my own. But just know it takes a village to prepare you for the throne. Shalom.
Tone. Awesome. Give me that one, Daniel. That'd be perfect. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good morning, Infinity. Good morning. Got faces in the place, got faces online. Great to be here today, y'all. It's time to kick off Infinity Fellowship with meditation and prayer. That's how we do. It's Sunday service time. I'm so glad to see you all. It's Memorial Day weekend. So these are the days that we remember those who have transitioned. For those of you who know the true history of Memorial Day, not just what we're taught, but the true history of Memorial Day came out of people of color in America and came out of the struggles that we put into the space today. So we remember we remember that energy. We are definitely pouring into helping this country heal, which is what's needed. But we're in a space of healing. So I invite you to take a deep breath in with me. Exhale and let it all go. Take another deep breath in. Exhale and let it all out. Go ahead and close your eyes for a moment. Just focus your energy on your breath, that divine cycle of inhaling and exhaling. What a gift it is in this moment. What a gift it is to be able to breathe and to be able to be conscious of our breathing. Giving thanks for the synaptic patterns that are firing inside of our brains. Giving thanks that our breath, we no longer have to think about, because it is a reflex, it is a gift from God. And We don't have to think about it, but we get the opportunity to think about it in times like these, in centering times, in times of remembrance, in times of gratitude, in times of thanksgiving, in times of joyfulness. In this moment right now, begin to center your thoughts on something that you're grateful for. If you're preparing for a journey into a new space of existence, that's gratitude. If you are emerging from an old space that no longer fits you or suits you and who you are now, that's gratitude. If you got up out of the bed this morning and made your way to the space throughout the obstacles that you face, that's gratitude. If you made it to the screen today, if you made it to your phone or your computer or your television, you were able to turn it on with nimble fingers and receive a blessing of spiritual food, that's gratitude. So we invite you to breathe in this gratitude. And release in the exhale any limiting thoughts that are holding you back. Embracing in this moment that you're exactly where you need to be. As we scan our bodies and we find the spaces of comfort, we find the spaces of discomfort, we give thanks for being able to acknowledge those spaces as well. That's gratitude. From this place of gratitude and silence and stillness, we invite all eyes to be closed, all heads to be bowed, all hearts to be open in this divine moment of affirmative prayer. Holy Divine Spirit, we thank you for this gathering today. We thank you for your presence in this space. We thank you and we consecrate this holy space to you as we do every single week. And in so doing, we acknowledge that you are not a distant entity. You are not a distant energy. You are not a distant consciousness, but rather you exist all the time. You're omnipresent, omniscient, all-knowing, all-being. You are in this space with us because you live within our hearts, you live within our actions, you live within our very consciousness as we are little bitty divine images and reflections of you. So we acknowledge that we are aware of your presence today, and we are aware of your presence in gratitude. We want to thank you for getting up this morning. We want to thank you for making our way to this spiritual space. We want to thank you for the many gifts that you have bestowed upon each and every one of us represented here. We want to thank you for the consciousness that helps us to strive to be better, to do better, to know better, to live better. We thank you that we are instruments of your good in this world. Thank you for a high vibration today. Thank you for spaces we may be in that are low, but spaces like this that remind us that we deserve a high frequency. We deserve the good in the world that is coming to us. And when things happen that seem to be negative, that seem to be bad to good people, we are living so that we can make that course correction, so that we can put the world into alignment. What a marvelous task it is to be the forces of good, the powers of good in this world. We send our prayers and our energies to the families in Uvalde, in Texas, for the transition of those 21 souls. We send energy to the families, and even as we pour our libations today and recognize them, we send energy and love, not just to those communities, but to the communities globally who are dealing with this issue of gun violence, this issue of spiritual dis-ease, because we know that it is a low vibrating space. It is a space of negativity. It is a space of self-pain that would cause someone to take another human life in this physical shell. So our hearts go out to these families. May our energy, may our time, may our resources, may our brilliant minds be poured into curing this society. We recognize that anything that is going to be built has to go through a phase of upturning. It has to go through a phase of construction. It has to go through a phase of chaos. So we see beyond this chaos to the divine order of peace and love that we commit to move humanity toward. And we give this space of love today, that these faces of infinity that appear, that the words that you hear, that the music that you hear today will be a celebration of your energy. And we speak that someone somewhere will be embraced in this energy, will feel this love energy, and be reminded that they are always loved and covered by you. For these things and others that cannot be put into words, we simply breathe in gratitude together. We exhale and send that gratitude into the world. And we say together, Amen, Amen, Hotep, Shalom, Namaste, Ashe. And so it is. Our consciousness for the pouring of libations. As we prepare for libations today, we want to remind you all to start thinking of the people in your family, your friends, who have transitioned to the space of life after life. For those of you who are at home, we ask that you begin to prepare your thoughts for those people as well. When we acknowledge the shoulders we stand upon, we are saying that we recognize that we didn't get here all by ourselves. And we are not here for no reason. We want everybody in this room, we want everybody on this stream to remember that you are here for a purpose and for a reason. Some of us are here to put creativity in the world. Some of us are in this world to put business in the world. Some of us are in the world to put industry and housing and textiles in the world. And some of us are in this world to bring families into the world, into existence. Some of us are here to express our gifts. And that's why we live the kind of life that makes it so that when we transition, people will call our names in honor as well. Those who came before, they're the ancestors, and we acknowledge them in this space. And we don't get to choose the number of the year that they're going to transition. Some may transition after 100 years, some may transition after 100 seconds. But we recognize in this space that that power, that energy lives, that consciousness is very real. So in this space of ancestry, we ask that you begin to think about those ancestors whose names you want to call. And we will pour our libation, the pouring out of water, into the earth that represents what happens to these physical bodies when we no longer need them. But we also recognize when we pour the water in that we are completing that divine circuit. That symbol that we see when we see the symbol of infinity, that is an eternally connected circle. And they look like two different circles, but they're actually the same. So those of us who are walking around here, we think we're different from those who have transitioned to life after life. But the reality is we're all connected. We're all protected. And love is real. So as we pour today, we will use the Yoruba word Ashe, which means essence of life. And so it is. And as we pour today in this space, we're going to recognize and acknowledge the 21 souls that transitioned in Uvalde, and pour the water to represent their divine energy. So as we begin to call upon our own ancestors, we recognize the spirits of those who transitioned over the last several days. And by calling their names, we acknowledge that their journey to the space of life after life will be a smooth one, and that their transition in this world will not be in vain, because let it be a memory for all of us to be ingrained upon our consciousness of the need to get up and do something. Because when we get up and do something, then those who transition, their lives will not be in vain. To the energy of McKenna Lee Elrod, age 10, Ashe. The energy of Layla Salazar, age 11, Ashe. The energy of Miranda Mathis, age 11, Ashe. To the energy of Navia Bravo, age 10, Ashe. To the energy of Jose Manuel Flores Jr., Ashe, age 10. To the energy of Javier Lopez, age 10, Ashe. To the energy of Tess Marie Mata, age 10, Ashe. To the energy of Rogelio Torres, age 10, Ashe. To the energy of Eliana Eli Amaya Garcia, age 9, Ashe. To the energy of Elia A. Torres, age 10, Ashe. To the energy of Annabelle Guadalupe Rodriguez, age 10, Ashe. To the energy of Jackie Cazares, age 9, Ashe. To the energy of Uzziah Garcia, Ashe, age 9. To the energy of Jace Carmelo Luivanos, age 10, Ashe. To the energy of Maite Yulena Rodriguez, age 10, Ashe. To the energy of Yalia Nicole Silguero, age 10, Ashe. To the energy of Irma Garcia, age 48, Ashe. The energy of Ava Mireles, age 44, Ashe. The energy of Amiri Joe Garza, age 10, Ashe. To the energy of Alejandria Lexi Anea Rubio, age 10, Ashe. To the energy of Alethea Ramirez, age 10, Ashe. So we pour today for those who have gone before. We ask that we remember the energies of the north, the south, the east, the west, the ground below us, the sky above us, and the space that connects us all, the heart center. Remembering the names aloud that will be called, remembering the names that pop into our conscious mind, giving us strength, transforming us, lifting us as the wind beneath our wings. Ashe. At this time, call aloud the names of those you want to recognize, type them at home in the box, and so it is. Thomas and Gussie Hayes, Delaware Carr, Catherine Carr, Haywood H. Carr, Carr, those family, Rosemary Frazier, cool water, freshen our spirits, consecrate this house of spirit, praising Almighty, Mother, Father, God, divine source in all creation, grant to us peace and prosperity. For the children in the world, womb and yet unborn, we pour together and say together, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe-o. As we light these candles, we recognize and remember that focusing on the light expels the darkness. Recognition that once you light one tiny light, no matter how deep and dark the darkness is, it goes away. In the presence of light, darkness ceases to exist. And so it is. Ashe. All right. All right. Good morning, Infinity. I love to get to say that. We get to say good morning today in a whole new way and to have a good time today saying good morning. Yes, it's the time to generate gratitude, y'all. So y'all know what that means. That means that we get to give something that we're thankful for. And what I found is, let there be light. I'm grateful for light. What we're thankful for is being here today, having everybody in the space today, and being able to exist as a fellowship. My gosh, man, 2 years of COVID and we're still around. That's just a moment of gratitude in a space where everything it depends on where you are, is working out or making you transition into something that is working out. We're grateful that we are seeing our growth and expansion in a powerful way at Infinity. So we want you to help us generate gratitude today. And it's not just to help us, it's to help you too. So how about generating gratitude helps everybody? That's the real big payoff today. So it's real simple. We're going to say good morning to you. And we're just going to sing that for a verse or two. And then we're going to get up and we're going to introduce ourselves to somebody. Tell them your name and say one thing that you're grateful for. If you're home, type one thing in the box that you're grateful for. We'll put a few of them up on the screen so that everybody can see them in that space. And let's generate gratitude. Tell us how it goes, Lady Kanika.
So it's real easy. All we have to say is good morning to you.
Yes.
And then the next part is da 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 da. Right? So we're ready. We got it. If everybody will stand to your feet as we're getting ready to greet each other and all of that good stuff. A good morning to you. A good morning to you. A good morning to you. Good morning to you. And we say a da 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 da, a da 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 da, a da 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 da. All right, greet some people.
Let's greet some folks.
To you, a good morning to you, a good morning to you, good morning to you. So you're online. I know you guys are typing in your good mornings and sharing with us what has happened great for you this week and what you might be grateful for this morning. All right, y'all singing and feeling it. We feel y'all from wherever you are. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Good morning to you. A good morning to you. A good morning to you. 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 Good morning to everyone. We're up and alive. Yes, good morning.
All right. Yes. Well, Sister Kanika, you get to come do double duty. Come on over here.
All right. Statement of Infinitude. So good morning, Infinity, and welcome into the Infinity Experience live online. And you know, there's a couple of things we always like to remind everybody about Infinity. One, we don't tell you what to call or how to define the God of your own personal acceptance and understanding. That is an intensely personal and beautiful relationship. Here at Infinity, we simply affirm your unique connection. Number two, whatever you call that source energy, you'll hear us say God interchangeably with divine source. What you see around you, baby, is the proof that it was showing off when you were created after the same image and likeness. And so now it's time to speak aloud the core agreements that bring us together at infinity, and we call that infinitude. Infinitude is defined in the dictionary as a state or quality of being infinite or having no limit. We have a unique mix of faith backgrounds at Infinity, but what centers us is the spirituality we all share in common. For us, Infinitude is defined as infinity. Get your snap on with an attitude, and that attitude is gratitude. And the snap you just heard is a spiritual practice that gives us life and meaning. Snap is on your screen, and we recommend you take some time to meditate on both it and our statement of infinitude by visiting our website at myif.org. The Essence Snap is for spirituality that transcends religion and connects you to the God of your own personal understanding. The N is for nurturing of ourselves and others, mind, body, and spirit. The A is for action, because we take action on our callings and walk in our divine purpose every day. And what we want to see finally is the P for the proof, that our spiritual practices manifest fruit in our lives through the building and maintaining of healthy and prosperous families, relationships, careers, and dreams. We are grateful you all are here as unique manifestations of our Creator, the loving, living spirit of our commonality, the divine source of all creation, perceived by many names, yet known by only one energy. I invite you to join us in the affirmation of our statement of infinitude. If you'll please rise. We agree that we are beings of pure, eternal spirit, birthed from the creative potential of the universe, with all the powers of the Creator inherent within us. We embrace the innate goodness of humankind and an abundant creation that provides for us through the seeds that we plant in our everyday lives. We acknowledge that who we are is housed in a temporary biological organism, and as such, it is our responsibility to take care of it because it will only last for a precious window of time. As we nurture ourselves spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically, we commit to provide like acts of nurturing for our fellow brothers and sisters of the world we live in, embracing all regardless of religious faith, skin color, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, or socioeconomic background. All are truly welcome at Infinity. We agree and accept that various religions exist as a unique opportunity for humanity to get to know one another through meaningful conversations that seek to explore the core concepts we share in common. It is the application of ancient wisdom, scientific discovery, and spiritual practices, both physical and metaphysical, that will lead us closer together as a human family. We commit to exist now and ever as a beloved community. Let it be so according to the many ancient terms of affirmation. Amen. Amen. Hotep. Shalom. Namaste. Ashe.
All right, thank you, Sister Kenitha. Y'all can be seated in the space. And we are excited today because we got a lot of great things happening. These are Faces of Infinity that are going to be coming up. And the Faces of Infinity, some of you are faces and some, well, all of you are faces, I guess, right? Everybody's a face. Some faces offered forth some of their gifts, their talents, and their perspectives for Fifth Sunday. So we've got a diverse group of people. Next week, I'm excited. First Sunday, go and get a friend and bring them. We're going to do a presentation of our spring new members class. It's going to be great because we got new members coming in from all over the place, especially in a virtual space. It's interesting. So even as we begin to trickle back in to the physical space, we see a few more every single Sunday as we come back, but we also see the growth everywhere. So we have been blessed to receive some gifts today. And the real message is, what do we find in the talents that we have sitting in these seats and sitting in these seats around the world, wherever they may be? That dude sounded like me, Denise. I was like, man, that guy She talking to somebody that sound like me. I'm like, man. So as we're in the space here, we want to have us enjoy the talents and gifts that come to us from Infinity members all over the space, here and away. And one of those talents is the awesome harpist from the hood, Sister Destiny Muhammad. And she's gonna treat us with a song. So let's all enjoy it. Sister Destiny. Y'all give it up, because of course they can hear the sound at home. So we can get that up for Sister Des. Great to have you, Des.
Good Gratitude Day, Infinity Fam. Destiny Muhammad here. I really wish I could be there with you all in person in Nashville, but I'm sending a little music and a whole lot of love to you. Looking forward to coming to Nashville and sharing music in person with you very, very soon. Enjoy the music. Peace out. Good morning or evening, friend. Here's your friendly announcer. I have serious news to pass on to everybody. What I'm about to say could mean the world's disaster. Could change your joy and laughter to tears and pain. Love's in need of love today. Don't delay, send yours in right away. Hate's going round, breaking many hearts. Stop it, please, before it's gone too far. The force of evil plans to make us its possession, and it will if we let it destroy everybody. We all must take precautionary measures. If love and peace you treasure, then hear me when I say, oh, that love's in need of love today. Don't delay, send yours in right away. You know that hate's going round, breaking many hearts. Oh, stop it, please, before it's gone too far. People, you know the love's in me. Oh, love today. Oh, don't delay, send yours in right away. You know that hate's going around, breaking many hearts. Oh, stop it, please, before it's gone too far.
Destiny Muhammad, y'all. All the way from Oakland, California. To shout out to her, brother Chriswell, who is her husband, partner, engineer. Man, I felt like I was right in the room with that. Don't y'all ever let people tell you what you cannot do. Usually when you see an artist or a musician, they're usually either playing an instrument or they're the vocalist. But when you have equal gifts in all, man, what a wonderful message today as well. Look, we want to welcome our visitors, our first timers. I don't see any first timers in here right now, but we also know that we've got some return timers. But we got first timers at home. So if you're first timer at home, go ahead and type first time in the chat. And what people do is they just smother you with love, as we have been doing over the last 2 years. But we want to recognize even everybody in the space, because this is our welcome. And this is how we let you know that we see you and we absolutely know who you are, and we acknowledge who you are. We acknowledge that you are not a human being who showed up to Infinity today to have a spiritual experience. It's the other way around. You are a spirit navigating the human experience. And we want that human experience to be highly spiritual, because it's your nature anyway. So we're here, we're excited. We're going to raise the lights a little bit. We're going to turn to somebody. So just wherever you are in the space, just stand up and turn to somebody and hold your hands up. And we're going to say our welcome. I'm going to say a welcome to people at home. And we're going to send that energy in the direction of somebody. Just turn and send the energy in the direction. You don't have to grab them, you don't have to touch them, but you're going to have to love that energy coming out of your hands. And if you're at home, all this energy is coming directly to you as well. And we're going to send this love into the atmosphere. So take a deep breath in. Exhale, release it. Catch somebody's eyes and repeat after me. I see you, but you don't hear me though. I really see the real you. I see who you are. You are a divine manifestation of God's creation. I see what you are. You are a spirit. You are more than what's on the outside. You're a gift to me and to the entire world. I see where you are. You're right here in front of me, where I can let you know, if nobody else will, that you are not alone. I'm with you, we're with you, and you are at home. I see when you are. You are in the right now, baby. You are so much more than your yesterday. I see why you are. You're here to learn, to grow, to embrace your dreams, and to celebrate your divine destiny. I know all this because I'm here to do the same thing. So we gonna help each other out. All right? I know the real you, and I see you shining today. So welcome to Infinity. Welcome home. Ashe-o. I just reach out, give somebody a fist bump, just a little fist bump, air fist bump, air fist bump, air fist bump at home. And then I want you to put your hands back up. Put your hands back up. All right. To the left, to the right. Come on. To the left, your left, to the right. Yeah, to the left, to the right. Dance it out, to the left. All right. Now throw your hands in the air. Wave them like you just don't care. And if you showed up today with good energy and you got clean underwear, let me hear you say, yeah. Yeah. I'm so glad that everybody said, yeah. Have a seat, please, as we prepare for our offering today. I didn't say that for our infinite streamers. I'm not sure about that because some people did not show up today for those exact same reasons, which is fine because we got you here and you're in the space. If you are first-time visitor, of course, we're going to put the slide up for a second so that you can take a picture of our code and scan the QR code so that we can get you registered. with a gift. We have a very special gift that we're going to give you, and we're going to send it to you. We're going to send you a love note. And so if you do that, you fill that out, you do the QR code, we're all right. Give me about 30% on those, Tony, so I can still see about. Yeah, that's cool right there. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because we don't have the band in, so we don't. The band likes to do that concert rock kind of look. Yeah, but I like to see folks so I can catch you nodding and wake you up. But yes, we want to send you a special gift. So take a picture of the QR code that was on the screen, run it back if you need to, and we will get you welcomed into the Infinity Fellowship. Again, it's time for our offering. So we are ready to give now. It's time for us to corporately give. Giving is a great thing that we do at Infinity. You all know we do it joyfully. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for giving. And by being here, I mean being present as human beings. Those of us who know when you start walking in your divine purpose, you do not operate in a space of lack anymore. When people mention things like money or resources, you stand at the front of the line. That's what we've all worked on that. We transition to say when it's time to show up, we show up. We volunteer. When it's time to build, we show up and to build. When it's time to give, we show up and we give because we see it as all connected. So as we pour back into this community at this time, into this space that has provided spiritual food for so many, and gotten us to where we are standing squarely, recognizing that everything is good, we invite you to give via our electronic platforms because now we take what happened in COVID and the space of COVID, and we see that it has expanded us because now we have electronic platforms for giving. So now you may give via Cash App, $ Infinity Fellowship. You can also give via PayPal, paypal.me / not / Infinity Fellowship. You can also put it in the mail. That's what you do, put it in the mail. And we appreciate those of you around the world who participate in giving this way. We affirm our giving by singing when we give, and we sing that everything is good. Everybody say that everything is good.
Everything is good.
Everything is good.
Everything is good.
If y'all could see from my perspective how awesome y'all look, then y'all would scream that last one. Everything is good.
Everything is good.
Because y'all look good. I got it.
I got it.
I got it.
I got it.
You got it.
You got it.
We got it good.
We got it good.
Can we work that into the lyrics? Like, just say it real fast. I got it. We got it. You got it. We got it. You good. Let us prepare for our giving. With our offertory affirmation, we'll put it up. And let's say it together. Oh, limitless, abundant creator, source of everything I possess. You have given me the gifts of life, breath, and creativity. You continue to provide for me without judgment or preference, and so I freely return these gifts to you with my whole heart, mind, and intention, knowing that as I give freely with both remembrance and gratitude, the circle of abundance will be unbroken, and so it is. We'll bring our offering basket out for those who like to give in person. For everybody else, let's give, let's sing, let's have a good time. Everything is good.
Everything is good. Everything is good. Yeah. Everything is good. Everything is good. And I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Hey, hey, everything is good. Yes, it is. Everything is good. Yes, it is. Everything is good. Oh, everything is good. And I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Hey, everything is good. Yes, it is. In my life, all around, everything is good. And I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Hey, sing with me now. Everything is good. Yes, it is. I said, yes, it is. Everything is good. It's good. And I've got it. Hey, I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Hey, everything is good. Well, everything is good. Yes, it is. It's good. Oh, everything is good, and I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Hey, sing with me now. Everything is good. Yes, it is. In my life, all around, everything is good, and I've got it. Hey, I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Oh, I've got it good. I've got it. Hey, I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Yes, I've got it good. Yes, I've got it. I've got it. Hey, I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Oh, I've got it good. Yeah. Woo!
All right, everything is good. And we hadn't figured here's the way we do things now, because we had done things a certain way. And in a minute, I'm going to bring Sister Kenitha back up. But we had done things in a certain way. We would do the Asheo, and then everybody break for coffee. Now we break for coffee immediately after our offering. And then during offering, you can like make your offering and then get coffee and tea and then come back into space. So for those of you who will be visiting, who will be coming in, that's a little bit of a program change. And I have enjoyed changing and evolving everything that we got at Infinity. I have enjoyed the growth. I've enjoyed the expansion. I've enjoyed the obstacles because they became opportunities. And I've enjoyed getting to know so many new people and everybody getting to know each other and establishing friendships both in person and online. So we got a few announcements to make as we continue to celebrate the faces of Infinity today. So if you got something great to share, as always, grab you a Standing Ovation card. Sister Angie has them in the back. So if you have one to share something good that has happened to you that we can celebrate with you, please fill out a Standing Ovation card so I can announce it in a minute. Also, if you are at home and you have a standing ovation, we are keeping an eye on the chat box. So type in your standing ovation at this time so that we can celebrate your accomplishment and what has happened in your life that has manifested good, so we can shout you out online and in the space today. It's going to be a great time. So we want to welcome you again to May, which is the 5th month in 2022, the year of attainment. Snap it, snap it, snap it on up, because attainment's definition is the act or fact of achieving a goal toward which one has worked. So we all know we have worked toward goals, but how about achieving the goals? Many of us have seen achievement in 2022 that when I'm talking to many of you all and people like their schedule is stacked, their life is booked. And when they say, you look back on 2021, which was the year of alignment, we say, well, you aligned in 21. So in 22, you're manifesting. So all of this good stuff that you can hardly even manage, that's a universe saying we live in the overflow. And that's our mantra for this year. I live in the overflow every single day. Let's say it. I live in the overflow. I live in the overflow. Come on, organ. Come. Oh, we don't have an organ yet. One down. I live in the overflow. Next week, we're back. We're back in person again, and we are also online. We are rebuilding and doing it well. We have revamped our new members orientation. Next week, we will present to you our spring graduating class of new members, and it's going to be so much fun. It is going to be awesome. We have 13, 14, I think, people who went through new members class. And so we're going to have to do new members class again for the summer. So for those of you who are here or online and have not been through the new members class, it now has an intro orientation, 4 weeks of 4 spiritual laws taught by Keita Thomas, and then a wrap-up orientation with a handbook. And it's a ton of fun, and it's crazy empowering. So if you're interested in being a new member and you're watching online, send us an email, infinitynashville@gmail.com, and just say new member, interested, or whatever that may be for you in your language. Send it, and we'll put you in that next class. You're going to love it. Performing Arts Academy is coming up. Deadline is this coming week. The week has been extended. Our Youth Performing Arts Academy is for kids age 7 to 14. You do not have to be affiliated with Infinity. This camp is an arts camp. We've got acting, theater, dance, creative writing, which I'm going to teach this year. I'm looking forward to it. Visual arts. Oh, I'm going in because we're discovering the next generation of stars. We do have scholarships available, so listen, go to infinitycenter.org. That's a different site from myif.org. There's a link there too, but go to infinitycenter.org. If you're in the Nashville area, do that application today. Do that application tomorrow. Get it in. We have about 8 slots, I think, available for kids, and we can scholarship the kids full tuition. So for those of you who are looking to put your kids, your artistic kids in there, and I'm going to take point of personal privilege and say, make sure your kid is artistic. So this is a space that they got to love because we are going to pour into them. We're going to press them to be excellent. And it is a space for kids who are interested in arts. So if your kid is not interested in arts, you know, keep them at home. They're going to be a great space. So we'll find some great camps for them. But we do want to make sure that they are in alignment there. That's going to be a great thing, infinitycenter.org. So I'm going to ask Sister Kenitha to come join me with her microphone and join me up here at this time because it's time for Standing Ovations.
Tune your vibration to a high elevation. It's time for the good news, our standing ovation.
Don't make me drop it. I'll drop it and I'll pop it and then you can lift me back up and lock it. I don't have you dancing those heels like that. Let me go put my cowboy boots on. I'm gonna put.
Thank you, Kata.
Yes.
We're getting ready for Shaka Khan tonight, so you know I had to have my hair in the heels.
Okay, Shaka tribute. Come on, Shaka. It's Kenitha Khan, the younger sister of Shaka Khan.
From Khan Academy. How about that?
From Khan Arts Academy. Joining us live.
Okay.
The baby sister is twice removed of Shaka Khan, Kenitha Khan.
Far removed. I wish I was. Okay.
Wait a minute, it doesn't say Khan, it says car. Oh, don't worry about that. Close enough. All right, tell us what we do here, Mama.
So here it is. Our high energy at IF comes from our practice of snap. It's why we snap our fingers during this part of the service. We receive practical lessons and tools for our individual journeys. That's spirituality. We fellowship with like-minded spirits every week. That's nurturing. We take what we learn and apply it in our lives. That's action. And if we do these, then every week we see examples of progress in our lives, and that's the proof. So let us pause to enjoy a collective moment of manifestation and expansion. So what's going to happen is when your name is called, please stand. If you're in the space, please stand as I read aloud your manifestation. When I finish each person's ovations, and this is even for you online, if we say we're going to read it out, and you're going to be able to, if you want to stand at home, you sure can.
Stand at home.
Once we read it, everyone will snap their fingers to celebrate. And then at the end, we're going to provide a collective standing ovation for everyone.
Okay, good. So we got ovations, and in case anybody had to fill out a card here, in case you're still filling out, you got a second, because the first thing we're going to do is we're going to give some honor and some props to people who have had some remarkable experiences lately. And so we get a chance to send a standing ovation. And I'm sure to Andrew and Karen been traveling, they've been locked in, they've been doing their thing, they've been slowly sharing their wedding pictures. But the first standing ovation we want to give is to Andrew McFadden Ketchum and Karen Carr, who tied the knot of holy matrimony. And we have their slide of them to celebrate them. Andrew and Karen brought together the entire family at the waterfall. So we got up on that screen, up in that top corner, we got Karen, Andrew, and then we got Otis, Eli, and Celia. And they were just awesome. They were turning backflips and breakdancing at the wedding and at the waterfall. And
Trying to catch the butterflies.
they were catching the butterflies during the vows. It was beautiful. It was absolutely free. It could not have been any other wedding other than an Infinity wedding. You know, other weddings would be like, would you please pause? The children are a distraction. No, the children were a part of it, and it was so fun to see those families together. So shout out to Andrew and Karen. We're speaking decades and decades and decades of love to you in the space today. Oh, Standing O. And Karen is almost 100% over COVID. That's why Andrew is on the stream today. Hey, Andrew, y'all weren't expecting to see that beautiful slide, but guess what? That slide is there because y'all are a beautiful family, and we are so happy to celebrate you. We also now want to celebrate our graduates, our Infinity graduates. We have some Infinity graduates today. First person we want to celebrate, Sister Destiny Rivers. Give it up. Snap, snap, snap. Destiny, if you're watching, also Michelle, if you're watching and you see in the slide here, we want you to stand up at home. Sister Destiny graduated class of 2020. That's not a typo at the bottom, from Penn State. And so she graduated class of 2020 and finally had a chance to have a graduation ceremony 2 years later. So we are so excited for her. Congratulations. Destiny looking good. Our next graduate celebration that we want to give is the sister. She has grown up, right? Everybody at home, everybody's like gasping.
I'm still trying to figure
When did she grow
when did
up?
that happen? 'Cause,
She grew from little girl to young lady, and now she's ready to go into the world. Sister Yashon Harris,
then
who
that's
graduated
it.
from.
That's it for their nest. They don't-
Oh yes,
That's
give me this camera right here
it.
for a second, Tony, just for a quick flash.
That's it.
Sean and Yamaya,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Congratulations.
The nest is empty.
It's empty.
We got some folks in here who has an empty nest or getting close to it.
Yes, Lord.
We don't know what you're gonna do. Just
Yes,
stop by and
listen.
let us see you in between you doing it. But we wish you well and congratulations. So back to the slide, Yashon, who graduated
my
class of 2022,
goodness.
who will be attending Alabama A&M University. Everybody's screaming. I love it. Next, we have our young sister, Lauren Kelly Newman, violinist extraordinaire, scholar extraordinaire, who graduated from Nashville School of the Arts, class of 2022.
Yes.
She will be attending Wells College in the fall with dual admission to Syracuse University, headed toward her corporate law degree.
Go ahead, Lauren.
We've seen Lauren all over the place
Yes, and it's the
with
same for
violins.
Latamara.
And
It's
same
gonna
for
be-
Latamara.
she's-
Oh, wait a minute. Give me back right here a second.
That's it.
Latamara, you now have an empty nest.
Empty nest.
And business and industry. I don't know what you're going to do, but please stop through from time to time.
Yes.
What a blessing. So let's go to the space of the online space and see if we got standing ovation there. Tony, I'll click on what I'll read whatever you click on, sir.
Amazing. Oh my gosh.
Great. All right, we got Terrell Lindsay, the Lindsay family up in the space right now. So, Terrell, you got to stand up now, man, because you got to stand up at home wherever you are. And Tashana, you got to stand there. Well, you got to sit down next to him and fan him, because here's his standing ovation. Terrell in Mesa, Arizona stepped outside my comfort zone and went indoor skydiving for the first time. Learned to watch for the signals, keep my chin up all the time, and to relax in the position. That's a message right there.
Oh my goodness.
That's a message. We could preach on that. Watch for the signals,
Man.
keep your chin up, and relax into the position. Oh, right there. Come on, we're going to get that one. Terrell already preached one. He got a message. Congratulations. We know that
That is so big.
sometimes the only way out is through.
Yes.
So when you have trepidation, when you have concern about something, when you push through it, you always realize not only is it not as bad as I thought, but it's a lot of fun.
Yes.
So man, when we connect, we're both gonna go out into the sky. We're gonna jump out of a real plane. We got, the indoor is amazing, and then we're gonna take it to the next level. And I'll go with you. I'm gonna commit. And Sister Kanitha will go. Tony's gonna go. Sister Alicia is gonna go. She knows about that jump in life. Angie's going. Where
I'll
you
be
going?
down there waiting
Who
on
is
y'all when
going?
you finish.
Come on, man.
I'll
Who is?
wait there.
Come on.
You go. Okay, I'll wait.
Trey, what you got? Okay,
Oh,
Dre
look
is
at
going.
that.
Okay, skydiving trip.
I'll provide the snacks for after.
No. Well, I don't know where the indoor space is, but I know where the outdoor space is.
I'll be the snack provider. How about that?
Snack, come on,
Woo!
you
At
said
the
you were gonna do
end.
it the same day I
No,
did.
now I give up on that though.
I went
All the
skydiving.
snacks. All
Okay.
the snacks.
All the snacks. That's what we're gonna provide. Okay, so
That's
great.
what I'll provide.
Kanitha Khan.
From Connor.
Kanitha Khan.
Woo.
Khan. I'm gonna be singing tonight. So don't talk to me on Monday because I ain't gonna have a voice. I'm gonna be singing with Shaka tonight.
Yes.
Next we have Brother D. Clark, the creative thought scientist. Standing ovation. Y'all know D. Clark is
Ooh,
just,
we
he's
need
been
another
here spoken.
message from him,
We're gonna get some more.
Yes.
It's time for time to up.
Yeah.
Faces of Infinity. I would have called you D. Clark, but I know you had a bunch of stuff going on. But guess what? We got you back. Standing ovation for Sophia Clark, daughter, Vanderbilt, a student who is in San Francisco starting her internship at Google.
Oh my God.
Do y'all know how hard it is to get a Google? You got grown men and women fighting each other trying to get an internship at Google.
Yes.
Sophia scored her internship at Google. Keep her in your prayers, Infinity family. Blessings to Infinity, D. Clark, Gina Clark, and the family.
Yes. Go Sophia.
And it's so great to just, you never know who you're sitting next to, who you're coming to Sunday on. And again, we want to say babies, but Sophia's going into her junior year.
She is, but she's always always.
She's always
my baby.
we want to be a baby. All right, God, we got
at
one more.
Google.
K Sharp is in the house. Good to see you. Standing O for my daughter being inducted into the National Junior Honor Society at her middle school. Come
my
on.
goodness.
Young scholars.
Yes.
Woo.
Yes.
We love it. We are
Yes.
in the house.
Man, that's hard
We
to
are
get
out
into,
in the
that
house.
honor
Somebody said, I'm not
society.
going to be jumping. They said, not going to be jumping. It's all right. You could just ride up there with Rev and Jeff. Ride up with Rev Jeff and just don't worry about jumping. Just sit right next to me.
That's why.
Just sit
That
next
right
to
there,
me.
right there.
You'll be fine. You don't even have to jump. Difference between jumping and being pulled. Okay, so
See?
I will pull you in. We'll pull you in. Okay, so I think we got everybody. So y'all know how
we got
we.
one.
Oh, we got one.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
in place. Oh, let's go. We got Sister Denise. Oh, this is DJ.
Yes,
Okay.
with DJ.
Demetrius Knowles, DJ Knowles.
Go, DJ.
Graduated 8th grade. We need the 8th grade photo. Graduated 8th grade and is officially a high school freshman.
My goodness.
Where's he gonna go, Denise? Should I ask? Amani Montessori. All right.
Yes.
Zoe Ramey turns 7 years old on Friday. Zoe.
Turn 7?
Oh.
What in the world?
Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya.
Happy birthday.
All right, Zoe.
Oh, for the
For the Geminis in the house.
For the Gemini.
It's Gemini
Yes,
season.
it is.
Zoe and Zoe.
And
Zoe and
Sister
Zoe.
Alicia.
Sister Alicia.
She didn't say it, but it's her birthday on the 31st.
On the 31st. She's going to be out of town.
Yes.
So we're going to give her a pre-standing ovation.
Yes.
So
Yes.
this is pre-standing ovation for Sister Alicia. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy
birthday.
And technically for Geminis, we have to sing it twice, but put it in your mind because there's two different people.
Two different
But yeah.
people. Which one are you? The
And they're
eagle or the
both.
owl?
They are both. So look, y'all know how we do it. So we have shared in the space and we shared at home. So if you share, sit down wherever you are, and then everybody around you is going to stand up, and everybody here is going to stand up, and we're going to give. What do we do, Mama?
Now we're about to give a collective standing ovation, okay? Here we go. we're supposed to be doing that.
I got a
Those
little
are the
tight tambourine.
announcements and ovations for Sunday. So it is spoken, and so it is. Ashe.
Ashe. You might want to hold on to your mic, babe. Just put it in your pocket because I'm going to set these chairs up in a second. Yes, indeed, y'all. It's time for us to absorb some of the energy of Infinity Family. We're going to hear from Sister Rihanna, who is going to tell you about her and her energy and her calling. And we're going to hear from the Lindsay family in Arizona as well. And then we're going to come in and have a little bit of meditation, conversation, and get some information from today's meditation, and then give a brief wrap up of all of this. And then it's going to be awesome. So I'm going to get out of the way for the faces of infinity. Let's listen together.
Hello, Infinity Fellowship family. My name is Rihanna Michelle. My pronouns are she and they. And I walk through the world as a healer, as a facilitator, as a land steward, and as Charlotte's daughter, who's my mother. And I think a lot of the gifts and the things that I'm doing in the world are really just me living out my purpose to uplift, to walk people through the path and journey of healing, and particularly to work through shame, to work through oppressive systems and other types of formations that basically tell us that we are not divine, that we are not divine beings. And a lot of the ways that has been illuminated to me is through my ancestral gifts. I identify as a hoodoo conjure practitioner, and also very much grew up in the lineage of farmers and educators. And so that looks like today, I currently craft spiritual care products. Conjure spiritual products and tools is my business currently. I make spiritual baths, oils, as well as I am a Reiki practitioner and light worker. And so this is something that really came to me to save myself. I've always been super interested in faith, particularly the intersections of spirituality and mental health. And so that's my background, and my education has been in psychology, and wondering how we as Black people can really integrate the traditions and the technologies of our ancestors in order to focus and center our own wellness. The journey has been a long one, but I've been able to make music, to make jazz out of all of my life experiences into something that is really, really close to my heart. I also walk through the world as someone who is a protector of Mother Earth. And so a lot of my work in the world as an organizer, as a facilitator working for social justice and liberation organizations comes out through my practice as well. I consult with organizations and individuals who are looking to incorporate more healing, more just cultures into their organizations, into their functioning. So I consult with a lot of different organizations, particularly ones that are liberation organizations on the ground, to find strategies, find solutions that help us usher us into this new world, into a new paradigm that is going to bring in our future society. And I'm very, very excited to also be the co-founder of the Water Bear Cooperative Land Project. This is a vision that has culminated over a number of 6 years. And we are a Afro-futurist, Afro-Indigenous space on the land, relearning our roots, relearning our cultures in order to pass that forward to the next generation in the spirit of Sankofa. So that's just a little bit of what I do. You can reach me at my website, www.conjure, CONJURECHA, Conjure Community Healing Arts, .org. That is www.congure.org, Conjure Community Healing Arts. To learn a little bit about myself, I'm an aspiring writer, I'm an aspiring DJ. I create all of these things as ways to engage people on a path and journey of healing. So I'm grateful to be a part of this fellowship. It has been a dynamic space for me to develop myself and my divine purpose, and I'm just glad to be here.
Hey, Team Infinity, Infinity
Infinity.
Fellowship.
Mwah.
Tyrell and Tashana here.
Yes.
New members, even though we've been with you guys for over a year. And literally, Infinity has changed our lives for the better. When it comes to family, I think we didn't have quite a great understanding of what that, we're transitioning into what that means. I think this space came into our lives at the perfect time because we were able to kind of figure out what family means.
Really added definition to it for us. And it's foundational. It's something that anchors us in a way that helps us focus instead of just kind of getting up, doing the daily grind and working.
Unconditional love. You need community. You need a village. You know that saying, it takes a village. That's real. You know, we can't do this alone. And that's what we realized. We're literally moving across the country, all the way to Georgia from Arizona to find our village, to find our community, starting with my parents. So family is what you make it, but you need to find that. You need to have that. And it doesn't have to be blood, which is what we're understanding. Infinity Fellowship is our family. And none of you guys are blood to us, but you feel like family. And we're so grateful and blessed to have found this space. We love this space. We will be here stalking everybody forever. We're here, we're available. We love you guys. And consider us family.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for
we
everything.
love you guys. Infinity,
Thank you for community.
Sister Kanitha, Rev Jeff, you guys are just the most amazing human beings. And we're very grateful and blessed to have this space and to have you all as our family.
Ashe.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Y'all, the faces of infinity. We just, you just never know. The message really comes from everybody. And that's what I love about this community. We talk about what Rihanna poured in. We poured in. I'm wondering if my battery is good. Okay, yeah, should be able to. I don't want to go. If I go in and out, send me a signal, Daniel, and then I can switch over to the handheld. But when we think about this energy and the faces are also the spiritual faces. So not just what you see on the outside, but what you get from the inside. And that's the message we want to reinforce today. I'm going to do this for sure because I think the left side is holding. I'm going to go to this one, Daniel. All right. Great. Give thanks. Give thanks for technology. Oh, man. Technology. Oh, man. Oh, is that what it is? Dog, man, people told me that. I didn't know that. Because I had the best things happen to me the last, how long has it been in retrograde?
It's been since May of like when the eclipse happened.
The eclipse. Wow. So I usually just kind of dig in and I just kind of say, when those things happen, astrological events, I kind of just like say, and so what next? It's working for you. Shoot, that thing is working for me. I'm like, I tell everybody, look, whatever happens in the sky, what happens wherever you are, you still are responsible for living in the overflow. Somebody made $1 billion a day when Mercury was in retrograde. Somebody else went and put their head between their legs and wasted 2 hours crying about it. So I say, be the person that's going to make that change. Be the person that's going to make that commitment to move through circumstances. Sending a shout out, which I sent on Sunday, to the Breaking Ground magazine that came out of the Arts Commission. On the cover, we have our very own Shabazz Ujima. And he's looking good, and goodness knows how many thousands of households his face went to in this magazine. So yes, thank you, Tony. Tony captured that. That's Shabazz Ujima. So we're sending you love, Shabazz. Keep dancing, keep choreographing, keep touching people's lives, keep doing great things and putting great things into the world. That's another face of infinity. I'm so happy that I put thank you, Tony, for that zoom in. I'm happy that I put lotion on my hands this morning.
You might have been Ash.
Because I was looking at it like a crusty crustacean. And there's a running joke with I'm on Roland Martin on Monday nights, and many of y'all know that, y'all watch that show. But we had this long conversation, and Roland was talking about people who show up with ashy hands on TV. And so I during that time, when I was off camera, I looked down. I was like, man, I hope he wasn't talking about me. So since then, I've been hypersensitive about my hands, just to make sure I represent, and I'm a divine reflection of you. No crusty crustacean husbands. All right, so today's meditation, let's turn to it, comes from Abraham Hicks. It makes no difference whether you want the specifics of it or not. It is the vibrational essence of the subject of your attention that is attracted. That which you really, really want, you get. And that which you really, really do not want, you get. I'm going to let that sink in for you, because it's the vibrational attraction. It's the essence of the subject of your attention. Get that? It is the essence of the subject of your attention. One more time. Say it with me. It is the essence of the subject of your intention. It's the subject of your attention. So if the subject of your attention is what you really, 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 really want, then that subject is going to amplify into the universe. If that subject is what you really, 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 really don't want, it's going to amplify it into the universe. So it's the subject itself. So if you're always thinking fear, destruction, I'm going to fail, everything's going to fall, oh my God, I really don't want that, I really don't want that, and you in your mind are creating over and over again images of you falling, images of the bad things happen, images of what am I going to do, those feelings of hopelessness, that's the only thing the universe reads. So then you actually are bringing it into existence by focusing on the negative. Focus on what you really, really want. Focus on the essence. Focus on that subject, and that energy changes. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate that, man. Thanks for that slide. So as it makes no difference, we really want to focus on what we're seeing and what we're showing in the space today. And briefly, tell us, what did you get? What did you get from seeing the faces today? What things did you get from the talents that you saw on display? I saw a particularly awesome reaction when Sister Destiny Muhammad was playing
I was trying
harp.
not to cry. It was the variety and the knowledge that all of us have some untapped potential. We also have all this powerful energy inside of us that when we are in a place where we just go ahead and just go with the flow, then the world gets to see it and we get to experience it. So like even with Destiny, when she was playing and singing, and I was like, it was touching me in a whole nother way, because I could feel her, like I could feel the essence of it. I could feel where she was also speaking to during this time, you know, of finding out about all those beautiful babies, you know, but it hit home so hard. But when I was looking at everyone, all the different faces and all the people that I'm like, oh, we haven't even been able to tap into, like sitting in here right now, I was like, oh, I could point to everybody in here who's done something.
Maybe we should. Yeah.
Absolutely amazing, you know. But it's the variety. It's the knowing that people will take those steps and be courageous enough to walk in their divine essence and their divine callings. And when you do that, what changes happen in the world? You know, you tend to leave it better than when you came.
And Destiny and Chriswell, when y'all come, I think the conversation is going to be great, and we'll have to work it around a conference. That we're talking about putting together a conference for Infinity and Beyond, with people who have gifts and talents to support what they're doing, but definitely in If Speaks, where we can bring like Destiny in and have a conversation. Like, how do you get on a bus with a harp as a little girl? You know, like you don't. I didn't think about that, because you think about the kid. I played cello in fifth and sixth grade, and you know the kids out south they would rip me. You know, I was glad I didn't get a bass, because that bass was bigger than me. The cello was already bigger than me, but I would get on the bus and have to get that little cello into a school seat and not try to break the bridge on it and everything. And so kids would always joke, you know, I mean, I had that big old cello and all that. But I can't imagine a harp. Right. I mean, a massive harp. So what was it like to choose an instrument that people would maybe not think is aligned for you? And to be in a Oakland, Oaktown. I'm not talking about current Oakland, gentrified Oakland. I'm talking about old school Oakland, and to come up in a space where that musical gift was breaking through every circumstance that told you it may not have been in alignment. So people here in the room, you have gifts that may not have aligned with the circumstance. And people say, what? Of all things, why would you do that? And yet you did them and you're doing them well because they were just for you. So I think about that when I see a Destiny Muhammad, or when I see Rihanna and the work that she's done, and all of the progress that she's made in coming back to an entrepreneurial space, from community organizing to standing up for people's rights. Y'all know, if y'all live in Nashville, Rihanna at one point was the person that everybody came to get when they were in trouble. If the state legislature did something that was horrible, everybody called Rihanna. And at some point she went down and chained herself to doors on the courthouses, and did that and brought people with her. But also made a transition to say, I'm now going to focus on healing beyond just the protest. So a lot of us, we really will, and this goes to the Uvalde shooting and everything, that's the Buffalo shooting. We often will spend a lot of time having public discourse on what is wrong. We also will criticize. Some people will pray. We will do that. But the question is, how do we contribute to the healing? Because if we don't contribute, the good folk who are focused on divine purpose are not focused on the healing, then this kind of thing goes out and it lands in a vain space. It does not grow seed. But when we have these incidences happen and the good folks say, you know what, this is calling me to do something different and to do something unique, even if it's the realization, to be very frank, that life is short and it's not promised. It's not promised for any one of us. So if we're living moment to moment in the space, as Sister Kenitha said, we're following the nudge. If we're following where we're supposed to be, we end up putting great things into the world. And that's what we see here. I'm going to come back to Rihanna because there's something in Rihanna that I'm going to give before we close. Terrell and Tashana, you all know we're praying, sending energy for you all. Y'all, they're making the coast-to-coast trek. I don't know how long that trip takes to drive from Arizona to Georgia, but I think it's like 2 days. How long? Yeah, you know, Trey, you made the trip. How long? How many hours is it? Like a day, right? And by day, we mean not start in the morning and get there in the afternoon, right? It's like a day. Stop and continue on. Trey's made the trek. And I could say to everybody in here, I won't call anybody out. I lied. I'm going to call you out. I lied. I'm calling everybody out. But the reason why, and I send a shout out to the Lindsays, and I'm glad, thank you all for sending the video in, because they're a younger couple, 2 wonderful daughters, and they're getting time. We're looking forward to seeing them, but decided for the sake of family, we're going to get up and we're going to move. We're going to drive and we're going to leave whatever we've got here and go forward. And if anybody here, if anybody online has done that, you understand what that takes. It is breaking a circle, man. It is seriously. Well, I moved to New York 1997, 98, 99, came back 99. But I always wanted to live in New York, and I always wanted to see it. And I was the cliche of the song, New York, New York. If I can make it there, I'll make it anywhere. You know, Sammy Davis. I would hit it. And something about leaving everything that I had in Nashville, packing things and going to literally a 1-bedroom apartment that was on top of what we found out was a crack house later. We should have known. The video game in the little store didn't work, and there was a hole in the wall behind the video thing, and everybody came and went through the hole. We should have known that, but we didn't. We learned. But going to that space was frightening, but also exhilarating, because when you're sometimes just tossed in the deep water, you can either sink or you can swim. And my daddy grew up in Buffalo Valley, Tennessee, and we drive through Cookville, and we cross the river there 5 times, Chattahoochee, I think. You cross it, and then you see this railroad bridge. And I remember growing up, my daddy said, "You see that bridge over there?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "That's how we learned to swim." I said, "You learned to swim from a bridge?" He's like, "Yeah, when we were little, all the kids in the area would take you to the top of the bridge, the very top part, and then they would just throw you off." And right, I know. Listen, I am a trauma-informed counselor, spiritual counselor, and I'm also trauma-informed in many areas that I teach, including intervention for young people. So I understand the language is different these days, and I also understand the lesson of how things done are different these days. And basically what happened in my dad's generation would be considered either child abuse or psychological trauma in this day and age. But back in the day, that's just it. If you wanted to go swim, they said, "Okay, we'll teach you," and they'll throw you off. And I said, "What happened?" He said, I fought for my life to get to the shore, and they just kept throwing me off until eventually I was able to float and get back to the shore safely. So sometimes you find yourself by no, and again, I can imagine the surprise. It's, "Oh, you ready to learn to swim? Oh, come here. Boom, there you go." Stevie Wonder talked about that, playing with his brothers and his family, and they would have him run off the roof. Like he'd start at the top of the roof, they would run and jump, but because he was blind, he never knew where the edge of the roof was. So people would just come to laugh and watch him fall off the roof. But as a result, he loved it. He didn't think anything of it. So psychologically, he never developed a complex about being blind. So when we think about, sometimes you may have found yourself, we may find ourselves in a circumstance or situation where we've been thrown off a bridge or we've missed a step at the edge of the roof. It's how we respond to it. And do we turn it into a superpower? And that's what we see when we talk about these energies of picking up and going somewhere new. And so congratulations, we're going to send you that prayer, that corporate prayer when you all leave out. But we also are going to congratulate everybody in this space for the gifts that they have. Yes. Now, so it's not what the world is. And you and I were talking about this. We'll just give you a little bit of our talk and then we're done. It's how you approach the world. It's how you see it. And what are some of the thoughts that were coming up with us this week?
Well, thinking about perspective and the book, I love it, Power versus Force. And we talk about, in there's always the talk about calibration. So he's been able to kind of quantify how we operate in this world. And our connection to us understanding our nature with spirit. And so there's these different levels. The main part that you want to get to where you are starting to really operate in power is the level of calibration of 200. And at some point, he was saying recently we finally have gotten to about 207, but at some point we always operated underneath this 200 level. And 200 is where courage is. It is where, like the Lensleys are taking that step of moving forward, not knowing what's gonna really happen, but just taking those steps, that courage step, being able to see things that come in our lives, even if they look like challenges, but being able to redefine it so that it's always becoming an opportunity for something else. So noticing that most people operate below that place of courage because, the perspective and because of what has been just kind of thrown at us consistently is the need to go straight to the negative or the spending a lot of time in the grief place or the beating ourselves up place or guilty, feeling guilt about certain decisions made and all of that. So it's making us operate at a lower level. And so when we were talking about perspective, I was like, it's interesting how perspective lets you know so much about who someone is. Mm-hmm. Like I'll listen to people talk and they'll always say about the lemonade or whatever, the half full, half
I got a message on it. Half full, half empty.
Thank you. Yeah.
Lemons out of lemonade,
Yes.
which is another
Those are
message.
two,
But go
right?
ahead. Yes.
Those two separate. So it's all about perspective. And Sister Alicia, I will never forget, we were going through this book, and we were on the part, I don't know if you remember this, when he was talking about how we see the same person on the street. So there could be somebody that's homeless, or what's the new word for it?
Well, no.
Okay. Well,
When I was homeless, it was homeless. But then there's some people who have not been homeless who are saying the unhoused.
The unhoused.
But I'm always,
okay.
yeah, and
not-
I'm cool with that. But I also remember that, it's always interesting that people who are not experiencing like to kind of put labels on stuff. So yeah, I was fine with homeless, but yes, homeless or unhoused politically.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I was trying to be.
I understand. It's nice.
So anyway, in the book, he was sharing how different people could go around this homeless person, and depending on where they are in their perspective or where they're calibrating. So let's say somebody is in a mode of feeling guilty, then they're going to see that homeless person as, how dare that person sit there? They always trying to take my money.
Oh, yeah.
Why don't they find somewhere else to go, or that kind of thing. And then there could be somebody else who's maybe at a hopeful place, and they go by the homeless person and they're like, oh wow, maybe there's opportunities that might be coming for that same person. And then there's somebody who might be operating, just depending on what level, you could see that same person, but you see them in a different way. Your perspective is different based on where you're calibrating, where you are operating from, what it is, the very essence of you. So I was talking about that when we were having that conversation. I was like, the perspective, like I think a lot of folks in Infinity, we have learned or trained ourselves to see things as opportunities.
Yes.
And so we're seeing this phenomenal growth, or like I said, sitting here, there's so much talent. And, Tony, you did a phenomenal, your spoken word piece was phenomenal.
Was going to that. Great, Tony. Yeah, absolutely, man.
But, we're sitting there, and I know all of us have dealt with many challenges, but because we've worked so hard on changing our perspective, we're beginning to see things operate in our lives in another way. Because things happen to everybody.
Come on.
There are difficult times for everyone. But there's some people who operate from a place of saying, all right, I got hit with that. Okay. Let me figure this one out. I may need to take a pause. Let me figure this out, and I'll get back with you. I'm going to do something with this. I'm going to turn that into something. I'm going to turn it into the next invention so it don't happen to somebody else. I'm going to put legislation in place so that doesn't happen to the next set of kids.
Yes.
There's that. Or it's the perspective of, it hits you, it's difficult, and you're like, I'm done. I just, why does everything keep happening to me? I'm not gonna make it through this. Why is it me? Why? Perspective.
Everything is perspective.
Same challenge.
Same challenge, same circumstance. So listen, I want to run because one of the things that I want to say, and that is that the message has been delivered. The message has been delivered by your presence here. It's been delivered by the acknowledgement that everybody has gifts. Right? So the message comes together when you look back on this entire program, that we have the power to speak things into existence. That's what we learned from Tony I. That we have the power to create from our minds and to speak things into other people's lives, including our own lives when we're in the mirror, that make us strong. We learned from Sister Destiny that you can do more than one thing at once, that you can do things that are not necessarily traditional for you, your people, your culture, and you can master them, that you can sing your song, and that you can recognize that love is in need of love today. You can recognize through the energy that you get from Rihanna that when she said jazz, she's made jazz out of her life experiences. If you listen to jazz, and I'm sending a standing ovation to Sister Kenitha, because we went to see Reggie Wooten, our guitarist, went to see him at Rudy's Jazz Room the other night. And he was playing with, you talking about the top musicians in the city. And when you hear jazz is not easy to play. Just one of the most complex art forms there. But with Reggie was playing, he looked at Kanitha and said, come up on the stage. Kanitha got up there and sang one of the hardest songs in creation. And the entire place was jam-packed. She didn't even hesitate. And she got up there and sang with these excellent musicians, turned the place out, upside down, did not hesitate, walking in the gift. Jazz has a structure, but then in between the structure, there's what they call improvisation. And improvisation is a gift. And scholars of jazz will tell you 3 lessons for our lives that anyone who wants to be a musician, jazz, I put this in business, I put this in arts, I put this in industry. You got 3 eyes. And years ago, I preached a message on this, but you got, immersion. You immerse yourself in your favorite artist. You listen to what they do. You know every note they got. Once you get past the immersion phase, you got the imitation phase. So you begin to imitate your artist, and you can play every note just like they play, just like you get with your mentors, you do that. But when you do that, eventually you start hearing things all to your own. You hear notes that the artist didn't have. That's when you have improvisation. That's when you find your own voice. So that's what we learn through the jazz of our lives, that we immerse ourselves in the good. We immerse ourselves in the people, places, and things that feed into us and what we want to see. And we immerse ourselves in thoughts. Then we begin to imitate, because sometimes you're not there. Sometimes the life situation that you want is not happening right now, but you got to imitate that. You got to see yourself where you want to be. You see yourself where you're supposed to be, even through the circumstance. And when you reach that point, then you begin to have your own voice. And that's when you begin to improvise. And improvising is about going with the flow, but improvising is built on immersion and imitation, right? So it's built on deep study. That's why you got to be able to because when you're doing what you do, eventually people are going to imitate you. They're going to immerse themselves in your work. They're going to do the things and you have to be able to be available to them to say, here's where that came from. Here's what it is for me, and not intimidated when people outgrow you. Any good teacher is going to be excited when people outgrow them. Any good artist is going to be excited when people see something that inspires them and then they move forward. And those beautiful eyes make jazz out of everything. It's about looking at the chaos and finding the patterns in the chaos and bringing them to order. Because I guarantee you, when you look back on the chaotic moments in your life, there is not something that was harming you. There was something that was teaching you. And when you focus on the lessons and you see the patterns, you begin to see that you are exactly where you're supposed to be right now. And you are exactly outfitted to begin to then, as the Lindsays demonstrated, make the move to preserve your sense of peace, to preserve your opportunities, new opportunities, and to surround yourself with family. Yes. And as they said, family isn't always blood. It's nice when it is. It's awesome when it is. But we also know that blood will take you through the mud. Sometimes. Some people have it all together. You could do the Norman Rockwell painting and do the Hallmark special, and it would be that. But I guarantee you, most of the Hallmark specials that you see of all of those ideal things happening at Christmas time, and we're gathering together at the Yule log, all of that wonderful stuff, most of the stuff, if you even study the history of Hollywood, most of those images were created for people who came from extremely broken environments. So they created fantasies to put on the screen. So we're not living according to the screen, because the screen isn't always real life. We know that. Movie screen, film screen, phone screen, computer screen. But what we do know is we get the best component parts that we can from the blood family. Then we build the rest of it out as we need to preserve both our sanity and our gifts. And that's what we get to do when we make the move to come out. That's why we love this space. That's why this space is here. This space is here for you, because it's a reminder that you gotta keep your family tight. And you got to keep people around you who are going to support pushing you over that hill when you feel like you're a little fatigued. And so all of this is about perspective. All of this is about energy. And all of this is about what you focus on. So this week going forward, this energy going forward, walk in who you are. I told you that I lied, and I did lie. So I'll say, for those people watching at home, and you see everybody in the chat that's contributing something, that's throwing affirmative energy in. I could throw a rock in this space, which I won't, because it'll scratch the floor. And I remember having to scrub these floors, and I'm not going to be, you know, when you think about things. Now, kids will mess up anything because they didn't pay for it. Then they get to be teenagers and they mess up a shoe or something like that. That's what they do, Mike. They get a little bit older and then they have to buy it. Oh, Lord. Bobby, don't touch my shoes over there. What are you talking about? Don't touch it. Man, I paid my whole check for the. Well, okay, now. How you think I felt when I found one of my shoes outside? So it's perspective. But you can throw a rock, hit anybody in here. And I can say Denise is doing her do-over coaching. And I can say that she's celebrating sweet 16th anniversary with Demetrius. And I say that when you see her in a homecoming parade moving and swirling around and you see her light, that's what it is. I can say that I dare you to pick Denise up and drop her in a football stadium. I dare you to drop her in a daycare. I dare you to drop her in a church, synagogue, mosque. I dare you to drop her in a sweat lodge. I dare you to drop her in a grocery store or a bodega in New York. And when she leaves, everybody in there is going to feel better.
Better about themselves. Yes.
Is that not Denise?
Yes. Yes.
Is that not Denise?
Yes.
I tell you what, I can tell you about Mike back there, Michael Craig, we call him. I can tell you that if you want to know about economics, he's going to tell you about it. If you want to know about trading, he's going to tell you about it. If you want to know how he's going to bear down and work, and he and Latamisia are going to continue to raise two beautiful children, they're going to tell you all about it. And he's going to continue to be hanging in there, and he's going to put his chest out, and he's going to lift his chin up no matter what's messing with him, and he's going to press forward.
Stuff coming. Yes.
And so is Latamisia. And that's just what they do, right? I can tell you Lakeisha's going to put together a painting, or she's going to put together a sculpture or artwork that is going to blow your mind and make you feel as if you have lived inside of her existence. She's going to capture something in somebody's eyes on the canvas that is going to make you say, there is beauty in the world. And I don't care how bad things get. For somebody to have a gift like this reminds me that I can see myself. And if I can see myself, I can acknowledge the good and I can grow. And that's the gift she has. That's just one of the gifts she has. You know, I can tell you about Wu, and I can tell you that Wu walks in a room and everybody turns around and looks, and it's not just because she's tall, it's because she's glowing. And I can tell you that she's going to continue to study and be who she is, and she's going to fight for her children. She's going to be fierce with that, and she's going to fight for Ronnie, and she's going to help him build with Ronnie, and she's going to go out and do her spiritual advising and tap into her gift. And during COVID, when things got tough, she didn't just sit on the mat. She practiced her yoga better. She got her certification, began to teach. That's just the scratching the surface of who's sitting in this room. I can tell you that Rihanna told you about herself on this screen in here, but I can tell you, I already sang her praise. I sang your praises before you got here, Rihanna, but I can tell you that she is going to mix, she is going to match, she is going to conjure, she is going to create, she is going to manifest, and she's going to hold you down. If anybody in this room or abroad ever gets a chance to get attached deeper to this sister right here, listen, she gonna have a little bit of a wall up because she's supposed to. Because she's so strong that everybody used to come around her and say, what can you do for me? And that's taking, that's not pouring in. But when she started making those spaces where she was allowing people to pour into her, and she was being mindful of that, the growth and expansion happened. So I say that if you get a chance to scratch that surface and get close to her, oh my God, you talk about what a friend we have in Jesus, what a friend we have in Rihanna. She going through the wire, to the limit, to the wall. For a chance to be with you. I'm telling you, man. Yeah, we're going to be shouting. I'm going to tell you about Trey. Because Trey, although Trey is new here, Trey got a story. I can't tell anybody Trey's story. Only Trey can tell Trey's story. And I'd never tell his story for him. But what I tell you is, you talk about somebody who's willing to get up, ready to move, who has been a teacher, who has been a scholar in his own right, whose mind is intersectional, whose energy is strong, who has proven himself, even being in this space since COVID came in, watching Infinity come into the present space, not being afraid to move, not being able to stand, not being afraid of shining and moving to a place where you're confidently being who you are. You can't pay for that energy. That's who you got sitting next to you in this place. You got Sister Alicia over here. And this would take 3 days, so I'm just going to try to put it in 30 seconds.
Lord have mercy.
But you got Lisa. She's a year away from empty nest. But got those daughters, got Carmen and Kayla on a success track like never before. In addition to doing all, she can do everything. You want stats, you want reports, you want accounting, you want all of that. But that's just the side thing, because the reality is playwright,
Yes.
director, moved now directing, not only had operas produced during COVID, operas now that she has written and been the librettist for is being produced on the East Coast, going now into a space where people are finding her, because when you set your light in the window, you don't have to start recruiting. People begin to find you. So she's Joe Turner's Come and Gone, opening in Chattanooga at a wonderful theater there. She's been back and forth. She's sitting here. We're grateful to have you here today, because you're getting on the road back and forth on the weekends, and you don't have to do that. But she's holding it down, getting ready to do a phenomenal production of one of the toughest plays to direct in the history of the August Wilson canon, and she's handling it, putting it out in the world, getting awards, being seen, all of that right there, and still is not walking around trying to tell people how much she knows over other people, because the light is just shining. So all of this energy is in here. All of these faces remind us that we are exactly where we're supposed to be, doing exactly what we're supposed to be doing. If you don't have a crew, get you a crew.
Yes.
If you don't have one that's going to support you, find the ones to support you, and do not be afraid to move. Everything else is moving. Even when there ain't a breeze, you stand on that deck after service, you're going to see the leaves moving. Even in a gentle breeze, you're going to see the grass vibrating. And if you look down, well, as I was in the creek, I was like, man, this is a slow day. You know, there's nothing there. And I was looking at the drainage creek, and it was nothing but standing water. And I just looked there, and I kept looking, and I kept looking. And I said, wait a minute, the water's moving a little bit. Everything's moving. Then I kept looking deeper. I was like, wait a minute. There's a roly-poly there. There's a minnow moving around. There's 6 tadpoles. There's an entire universe just in this 6 inches that I'm looking at. So, you know, it gives you perspective that everything is always moving. Everything is always working toward the good. So don't let anybody tell you otherwise. And these are the lessons that we get from the faces of infinity.
Yes.
So it is spoken, so it is received, and so it is. Ashe?
Ashe.
Ashe. Hi. Sister Kenitha, would you offer us a perm to take us as we begin to close the service? I know, because I love your perms.
Oh my goodness.
And I know you stay ready.
I do.
And it's all let us close our eyes, all heads bowed, all hearts open, as we tune into Divine Source.
Oh, Divine Source, we are grateful for this moment. We're grateful that we're able to take deep breaths, to wake up in the morning, to be in our right mind when we wake up, to have things provided for us, to have the ability to provide for ourselves, to be able to be on this earth, to be able to be on this planet in this present time at this moment in history. We are thankful that we are able to experience the love energy that is always and forever present with us, and that it never goes away. Sometimes we pinch ourselves off, but it is always consistently flowing in and through us at all times, and we're grateful for that. We are grateful for those little nuggets of things that we receive that help us to move to the next level. We are thankful that we're able to get information that it helps us and it holds and matures us into a place where we can grow spiritually. We are thankful for places like Infinity that houses spirits together to be able to grow in love and affirmation. We are grateful today. We are grateful that we're able to be together through the means of television, through the means of looking on our computer, our phones, tablets, and being in person, all at the same time, to be able to experience this love energy. We are thankful today. We are thankful that we're able to experience life because it is so precious. And I speak a blessing over everyone that's listening and all those that are in this world. I speak a blessing over every child that is out there. I speak a blessing over every family. I speak a blessing over every person, that we are protected and we're covered through this immense love that is there. Sometimes we don't know. Some of our folks don't understand it. They forget, they lose who they really are. But I speak that if there is someone out there right now that are making decisions, that they are in a low place, I speak that something will happen for them, that their spirit will be uplifted, that they will start to tap into that love energy in this moment right now. I speak a blessing over everyone's financial place, where over their finances, that things will just start tapping and opening up. I speak over every opportunity for jobs and operations and different endeavors that will begin to open up for everyone that is listening. I speak that we will begin to rise higher. We will experience a life in a different way, in excitement. I speak excitement, love, joy in everyone's life right now. And as we go about this week, as we move through this week, as we move through the rest of this month, as we move through the next month, that we will never forget how powerful we are. And that essence, it is our responsibility to take care of it. And it is our responsibility to walk in that power. May we never turn away from being a powerful person. May we never shrink or tower down from the responsibility of this power that is coming through us every single day. I speak that over everyone here. Amen and Ashe.
Amen and Ashe. Woo. Y'all all right? Y'all all right? What a day, what a day. So as we prepare to sing our song, move from this place, we invite you to stand to your feet at home. We invite you to stand to your feet here in the space. As we begin to sing our song, we want to thank everybody who brought us the Infinity Fellowship on our technology. Brother Tony I doing double duty today. Yes, indeed. Brother Daniel doing duty today in his space. All of the people who contributed video or some energy to this phenomenal Fifth Sunday. We invite you in this space to recognize that all hearts and minds are clear, and we're going into this world to share our light. So we expect us to recognize that we are all family and we are in the space, and so we're going to sing our song together. The words will come up on your screen. They're here, and they're at home too. So we invite you to sing it like you mean it and to feel it as we start this week off right. We got Infinity folk in the house tonight. If today's a brighter day and we are on our way, then we can begin to heal ourselves again. Oh, we remember yesterday, and yet today's the day. God's reminding me to look at you and see family. If today's a brighter day and we are on our way, then we can begin to heal ourselves again. Oh, we remember yesterday, and yet today's the day. God's reminding me to look at you and see family. God's reminding me, God's reminding me to look at you and see family. God's reminding me, God's reminding me to look at you and see family. We speak that the love and power of God, the energy and power of the cosmos and the ancestors rest, rule, rock, and abide with you from this moment, henceforth, now and forevermore. And we sing together. Amen, amen. Hotep Shalom. All right, we love y'all guys. There's nothing you can do about it except for get you some coffee in the lobby, get you some fresh popcorn from the popcorn machine. And those of you who are at home, keep living, keep loving. We will see you all first Sunday next week. Same time, same place. I love you. That's a fact you cannot change. See ya.